Hello, tea and toast, but it's in the evening, so dinner and discussion. I'm joined with Bianca and Sophia, and I hope they're doing okay. I hope you're all doing okay, and happy Friday.
Yeah, woo, the weekend begins. How are you, Steve? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, not too bad. We've got two young people in. It's a bit of a quiet before the storm. We've got Anne and Ella who are having a pool competition. They're both pretty good, though. Yeah.
So what's happening at the yard, or what's been happening at the yard today?
Well, at the yard, it's been really busy. So we had Tamsin with Apocalypso, which is a social action project. They've been making some T-shirts with really cool stuff on. Here's a flyer. Da, 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 da. So they've been making T-shirts and things. So that's been really cool. We've had our usual young people who just come in and chill. They just want to relax. But one of the things that's been really nice today is we've had the Community Foundation here. And Northampton Community Foundation is a body who actually, they fund people. So for us, they fund lots of projects that we do. So it's quite an easy process. But without them, lots of organisations in Northampton wouldn't actually exist. So, Jamie, sorry, can you just hand sanitize? Just reminding people of all the rules. Even though COVID is over, when you come in, we hand sanitize, we do the zapping. Yeah, because we're COVID safe here. Jamie's like, oh man, not some of that sludge on my hand again. So the excitement of being at the yard. But it was really nice to see the Community Foundation. They brought, I think it was about 8 or 9 of them who come down, and we were able to share what we do, but they were able to see it face to face because they'd heard about the yard, but they'd actually not been here. So that was good.
And what's happening at the yard later today?
So we've got the LGBTQ plus group. So they'll be coming, and they normally come between 4 and 6 because afterwards they head off to the lowdown because it's out there youth group tonight. So it's really cool. So you don't have to go to the lowdown building. You just go to Bridge, which is directly opposite us. So that's cool. Then we've got open youth group. And so we've got some games to play with young people. We've got some crafting stuff. And already we've got Jamie on the arcade machine who's trying to beat Luke's score of 19,000.
You're already beating him. Oh, what? It's a new one.
What's the record, Jamie? 20,000, 760. So if you think that you've got the Pac-Man skills, you've got a high score to beat. I don't ever get beyond about 7,000, to be honest. Do you?
I think I've got up to 10,000, but I was trying really, really hard. Then I feel like the pressure is like, no, they're actually going to get me. They're not real fear. They're not going to get you.
It's hard. It reminds me of a Friends thing where they played it so much they got claw hand.
With the claw.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And what are you doing this weekend?
This weekend, we might have a session on tomorrow about the I Will project. So we'll find out about that later. We're not doing Dungeons and Dragons this weekend.
And they've stopped. So you're going to have to listen to me ramble on for a minute.
Oh, sorry. Did we go then?
Yeah.
Apologies. It says that our internet is a bit weak today. So tomorrow we've got an online yard quiz. So that will be happening in the morning. And we've got some story time stuff. So it's all online over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm really excited that everyone who comes here, I'm like, yeah, we've only got, 10 days until 11 days to our Brighton trip. So, yeah.
It sounds fun.
I can't wait. I'm really excited because even though Brighton's got a stony beach, which my mum's like, Bianca, Brighton's got a stony beach. I don't think that matters.
It's all about the pier in Brighton anyway.
Yeah, but also you go into the water, you don't have sand in your shoes.
This is true.
You get home, you don't bring sand with you. Instead, we're going to collect the pebbles, do pebble art.
There'll be no rocks left on Brighton Beach. Oh, we should take we're going to take them, just leave them there.
Ooh,
rebels.
Rebels, crafted on the beach.
So I don't know if you've seen taking that strenuous link from the beach, but the RNLI,
oh yeah,
who have been rescuing migrants off the coast in the who have been coming from France, have been attacked by certain individuals. I won't name the main perpetrator.
Gets on my real nerves, though. He does.
Are basically saying that they're acting as a taxi service for these migrants crossing, and in response, the RNLI has seen a 270% increase in donations to support the work that they're carrying out.
I was really, really.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. To that person. Huh.
Luke's nodded his head like, yeah, that's good. Let me just swivel you around.
That's good. What's then, Steve? Yeah, that's good news, man. I like that.
It's kind of like, for me, it's like the people going back at that individual going, no, we don't accept what you say.
We've actually had enough of his hate, haven't we? I'm really fed up of people. This isn't just an organisation that's doing an unimportant job. They're saving lives.
Well, the RNLI is a voluntary, I believe it's a charity as well.
Yeah,
so these people are doing it in their personal time and personal capacity. And what's the alternative? Are they going to like, oh, I'm drowning, save me. Sorry, mate, what's your nationality? I can't save you yet until you tell me that you're English or something. Like, they're just expected to let these people die. Isn't their job to ensure, like, they're not political. They're not making a political statement by saving these people's lives. They're doing their job, which is to save the lives of people in the channel and at sea.
Also, the other thing that I thought was really important was this. He is the bloke, along with other people, who've said all lives matter. Yeah, so when the Black Lives Matter thing, they would go, no, it's all lives matters. Do all lives matter then, mate? Because now you're saying that all lives don't matter.
Refugee lives don't matter.
Do you know what I mean? And so I guess it reminds us here at Community Courtyard of one of our principles, and it is really, really important. That's why we do a lot of work with Everyday English. All lives matter. There is no thing as an illegal human. Do you know what I mean? We're really strong about that, and that's why every Tuesday we run our ESOL classes, and we make sure that you don't have to have money to get on them. So if you've got no money, we still teach people anyway. True, because it's just so important. But if you meet a character like that, you can tell them to go away in a number of English words.
Well, the alternative is that there'll be dead bodies washing up on English shores.
And
that's the alternative. Is that what they want?
Well, yeah, it is. It is what they want. And you know what? The problem is that we know that there are already people who die doing that crossing.
Yeah.
True. So but we need more boats saving people, not less. We need people to understand that if you choose to take that route into the UK, it's not a holiday trip. It's not like going on a P&O ferry. It is a question between life and death. And that shows you how real scared and as a last resort that people are at. Do you know what I mean? This is people's families. You don't put your family at risk unless you're desperate. And so people like him who are always talking about refugees, but yet he's married to a German. He took money from the European Union as wage.
He has an EU passport, I think, as well. Dual nationality passport.
He's an absolute disgrace as a
human.
You're
Let's not get
going
wrapped
to
up
stop
in
me
here.
before I get really passionate about it. Like, whoa.
There's quite an inspiring story about someone who has took a similar journey. I don't believe it was across the Channel, though. I believe it was across the Mediterranean. There's a swimmer in the Olympics. Her name's Yusra Mardini, and I think she came third in the women's 100 meters. Yeah, she came third. And when they were crossing, the boat, there was something wrong with the boat. I don't know the full story, but she had to get out of the boat, and she basically swam and pushed the boat to shore for like 3 hours or something.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Her and her sister. So yeah, the group swam for over 3 hours, towing the boat with rope towards the island of Lesbos in Greece. So she saved the lives of the people on board the boat by getting out and swimming for 3 hours. And then she's just been at Tokyo Olympics as part of the refugee team, and she came third, which is
yay,
inspiring story. And
I'll tell you what I like.
It's like the desperation, like swimming for 3 hours is hard anyway, but swimming 3 hours in the open sea, freezing cold, that's how desperate they are. If she didn't do that, they'd have all died.
I'll tell you what I like about people is that every time I hear a story about like old misery guts, the story we just spoke, there are more stories of hope, more stories of love, more stories of kindness that we just need to share, because actually how inspiring that person hasn't just changed their life, but the lives of everyone in the boat. But not just that, but by coming third in the Olympics, which, as we were saying the other day, is no easy feat, is it? That's blooming amazing. But they've just kind of shattered all stereotypes about refugees. So, for example, we're working with a young person who, in their home country, was a pharmacist. And now they're in the UK, they can't do their job. And I think we forget, but when people are in their home countries, they're not just doing nothing, they're skilled people.
Yeah.
Do you mean? So we need to remember that, and we need to celebrate that, and we need to help people to be able to share skills. This whole planet is one planet. It's not like several bits of it. Do you mean? We can't let our government fool us into thinking that we haven't got things in common with each other.
Yeah, I saw there's this thing that there was a British cyclist, and the government cut the funding to the cycle event that she does. So she actually had to crowdfund and support herself to be in the team, and she just won a medal. And no doubt the government will claim victory in that. Like, oh look, but if it weren't for them, like, do you know what I mean? Her life would have been a lot. It's not comparable to a refugee, obviously, but like the British government are not funding sport sufficiently at every level, especially like grassroots, where working class communities are involved. Like, because without proper funding, only rich people can really get involved in sport.
It's really interesting you say that, because we were having a conversation the other day about how the arts are underfunded. And then I wondered to myself, what isn't underfunded nowadays? Do you mean they're taking away money for arts, they're taking away money for music, they're taking away money for sports? All they want us to do is to be complete sheep and have no passions, interest in anything. Yeah,
but it's only for poor people, really, because rich people can still pursue those things because they can be funded by, like, for example, a sports person, for example, could be funded through mum and dad. They already have an advantage because they get better equipment. They, like, if you go to a private school, the sports there is completely blows away what you have in a state school. And think of all the top footballers or the top athletes that potentially have been lost because they had to drop out as a teenager because they couldn't afford to do that. Their family couldn't afford to support them. So they've had to stop what they wanted to do in life in order to get probably a minimum wage job.
Yeah. Yeah, it is sad. To be fair, it's heartbreaking. I mean, I'm lucky enough that the three young people that were in the room of today, I've got Jamie, who's in year 10, having done his GCSEs early. But he didn't do them early because he was offered that opportunity. It's because he got chucked out of school, but he got the opportunity. Do you mean? Because he was in a smaller class and it's different needs. I've got Anne here, who's going to be a doctor. I've got Ella here, who wants to be a marine biologist. We're lucky, but we're surrounded by people who've got aspirations. But it's so easy to have them knocked out of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's not just in sport or like art. You know, it's in pretty much everything. Like, take journalism, for example. A lot of the culture there is based around internships. So if you can't afford to support yourself for an internship, you can't get a job in that sector. And the system is just so stacked against working class people, they just want you to, I don't know, be a cleaner or like work in McDonald's or work in some kind of dead end service job rather than pursuing those passions. Because like even if you get a degree at university, you're still further behind than someone who has the correct surname or had a father that is in the correct job, or you know what I mean? There's so many structural barriers to working class people getting involved in the arts, in acting, journalism, pretty much all sectors across the board. It's harder for a working class person to thrive.
No, absolutely is. Absolutely.
Even getting your foot in the door is a difficult step because you haven't got the right background.
Yeah, exactly that. And then what that does is tell young people that they can't do things where actually nothing could be further from the truth. And I guess that's one of the things that I'm really lucky. But over here, let me just show you again. He's having a 5-minute relax. But Luke is really good at motivating people, especially in terms of the sports, and going, you can do it. You can stretch your personal best. Doreen, you've got all of this potential. And I know that like on a Thursday at our boys group, lots of the young people who come there come because they needed someone to believe in them because they love doing sports, but they were like chosen last. Doreen, when we were saying yesterday, they were like, that's great, really enjoyed it. Never could have done this at school. Weren't allowed. So now they've got a Luke and they can do anything. And like with Sophia here, having the creator educator at Community Courtyard has been so brilliant for us because there's so many young people who would say, you know what, I really want to have a go at that, but I wasn't able to. So, for example, we don't just do like the working class arts. This week we did Kintsugi, which is actually, you pay money to go to those kind of classes. They don't do it for kind of poor kids because you only get to do like stuff with PVC glue and and that kind of paper mache. Where Kintsugi is where you get china, you smash it up, and then you put it back together with gold glue. But it's again what poor people get to do, what rich people get to do. So we're really trying to challenge that here.
Well, look at graffiti art, for example. Until Banksy, that was seen as like I don't know, like a nuisance or whatever. Yeah. Banksy goes up, and then like people knock down the walls and take the walls away to steal it and sell it. And even with that, like a working class person going out and doing some kind of graffiti art risks being arrested. You know what I mean? It is illegal for them to do that, and it brightens up our communities. It's a lot better than a crappy bloody bland brick wall. Do you know what I mean? Let's create some color. Let's create some kind of pride in the community rather than
also the good thing. It
looks like we have to live in these horrible conditions, and historically, and I think they want it to stay this way, is art especially is seen as a pursuit of the rich and wealthy. It isn't for working class people. There's a lot of snobbery, I think, when art is concerned.
I've said this a couple of times, but I don't know where I've said it on here, which is all too often, working class people, we have financial penalties and rich people have financial incentives. And a really good example of this is about fining people for rubbish. Yeah. So whenever there's rubbish, people go, you know what, let's fine them. But actually, there was this really good piece of research done in New York, which showed that when you used art, using that graffiti art, and you painted the area, you found that people wanted to drop less rubbish because it created a sense of community pride. So actually, it's not just that art is really good for you in your head, because we know that it's really good for your emotional well-being. It's not just that graffiti art is really good in its own art form and should be celebrated, but it reduces crime, it increases the sense of community pride. It is actually one of the integral parts of connecting people and sharing stories. Art is another form of storytelling. We always look at art and go, I wonder what the artist was thinking. What did they mean by this colour? With Van Gogh, what point did he cut off his ear? Was he feeling this emotion? Art has a fantastic part storytelling isn't just about the books that we read, it's about the colours that we see, it's about the strokes and the emotions. So I just think we need to be real mindful of how essential it is, and especially like when we see Northampton being so dirty with rubbish, maybe if we had a few more community spaces painted, we would see people feeling a bit more, I don't know, proud.
There has been some places that have been painted up, but I think it's I think in Leicester they've done it all across the city. I think they've got a lot of
all over.
And there's a place, I can't think where it was, but I was reading about it. They every year they have like a festival of graffiti art, and everywhere gets done by artists for a short time, and then next year they change it with different artists and stuff. And something like that, you know, the whole community can get involved in, and it's like a whole town-wide event, I think would be really beneficial and make the town look really unique and special instead of just looking run down. You know, it just looks like it's a downward spiral.
That is a nightmare, isn't it? So
we were talking about things that like how art is beneficial for you and in the mind as well. So let's talk about something that's really good for the body and it's really easy for people to do, and it's walking. Walking.
And on that note, I have to walk somewhere quickly just to let a young person in. So give me 2 seconds while I just hand you over to Sophia. Hello.
So during lockdown, for example, a lot of the normal exercise avenues were kind of closed. So a lot of people took to walking, myself included, and I walk now about 11,000 steps a day. Before the lockdown or whatever, I used to probably average about 3,000. And I was just reading an article, and it was saying the 7 health benefits of walking. And these are: it improves your immune system, it calms internal inflammation, it keeps your cellular batteries working properly, whatever the hell that means.
What is that?
I don't know.
We'll have to Google the Google, aren't we? Yeah,
it helps improve mental health, and it can boost creativity. It can strengthen and repair your joints, and it can help you live longer. So I challenge all of you to try and walk at least 10,000 steps over the weekend.
That's pretty cool. You and I try and walk quite a lot, don't we?
And there's plenty of places in and around Northampton that are quite nice to walk. I walk my dog at Abbott Park on a regular basis, and just getting out in nature as well, I think, has some benefits.
Even when it's raining, actually, and I would recommend, if you've got a garden with grass, take your shoes off and go and actually stand on the squelching grass. There's lots of research which shows that when you're standing on the grass, it actually makes you feel better. Julie, I would love to have some grass. I was thinking about just getting a grass square in our garden and see whether that works. But I'd
get some grass seeds and grow our own.
Yeah, maybe we'll have some grass in the yard. I think that'd be awesome.
Just have a square.
Yeah, we'll have a little footwell.
We'll have to like go around our feet.
Yeah, just have a footwell of grass.
In your footprint.
But you're right, actually walking is really good. And like Sophia does a lot of walking around the town centre.
Well, it's free. It's free. Anyone can do it if they're able to do it. Obviously, not everyone can do it. But like if you are able to walk, even if it's not very far, you soon build up. You build up your strength. You build up your lungs. I think there's a lot of health benefits, mentally and physically, to doing it. And it's relatively a simple exercise that's very accessible. And if you're doing it with other people, it doesn't even feel like it's an exercise because you're just having a chat and just enjoying yourself, really.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good. I like having sort of a walk and a chat with people. Also, sometimes I just like to stick my headphones in, put a podcast on, and just like I zone out, because then I know that's how long I've walked for as well. I'll do some good thinking
if I've got music on and doing a walk. I can do a lot of good thinking.
Yeah.
Get a lot of thoughts out and help. Like that helps mental health, and it helps coming up with ideas as well.
Absolutely. I am on 7,168 steps today so far.
Nice.
I am on. I'm cringing. Yeah, I can't say that out loud. No, but you know what? One of the problems is because I don't have a thing like you two. I use my phone. If I put my phone down, which I've done, I don't get enough of my thing. So like some days I have my phone like in my bag. Like the other day I walked like 17,000, and then it went down to like I was like, how have I only walked like 1,800? So even if you think that you're not getting the steps in, if you walk for at least an hour, that's roughly 6,000. Yeah. So don't beat yourself up if you haven't got your phone on you or you don't count your steps. Just keep ploughing on. Yeah, because every step you take is a good step.
Yeah, or just being more active in your day-to-day life, even if it's only 5,000 or 500 to 1,000 more steps. That's still better than none.
So Trash Gamer is doing all the step hype. I don't know where you are, Trash, in the world, but you're going to be watching us.
Oh, that's it. Police.
Yeah, every step we take, every move we make. There could be a song like that, Trash, mate. Yeah, maybe you've heard it. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, you make us laugh, mate. And it's always good to have some laughter on a Friday. That's what it's all about. That's what we're needing. So
what time is the youth club tonight?
So at the moment it's the LGBTQ plus drop-in. They're waiting for the lowdown, and then we hit the road at 6 o'clock. So,
and is that open to everyone or
anyone? If you're between the ages of 11 and 25, you're more than welcome to come and join us. Yeah, if you're 11 to 13, we will check that your mum and dad know that you're here. Yeah, or we will make sure that you're safe getting home. We don't let you go home on your own if you're under 13. Yeah, but for older young people, you can just drop in.
Excellent. And on that note,
only sad face, tiny bit too old, I know. But if you are someone who makes things, you'd like to do some youth work, yeah, so you're like Trash, you're a tiny bit older, don't forget there's lots of volunteering opportunities at Community Courtyard, and with the Creator Educator who does loads of great arty stuff, not just here at the yard, but they do stuff in Leicestershire, in Northamptonshire. So don't think that you haven't got skills that we can't use. We'd love to have you on board doing things with us.
Okay, there you have it.
Are we ending it on this Friday?
Yeah.
Get ready for the weekend. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, it's Friday. It's home time. So I need to go and make my dinner because Bianca isn't here to make it for me.
I know. I'll have my dinner later. Well,
so get down to the yard if you're about. And if you have any thoughts about what we talked about, like to get involved in the discussion, feel free to contact us and we will take it on board.
Yeah, we'll shout back. Yeah, or I'll put a link on about our Discord, so you can always join our Discord community to get involved in more conversations. Steve, I look forward to seeing you on Tea and Toast on Monday. Sophia, I'll see you at Make Do Amend in the building. So online, in the building, in the real world. Everyone have a great weekend.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend. Take it easy, Trash. Bye. Bye.